Greetings, guys. I'm Kara. Welcome to the Big Mess. I'm sure everyone has done a solid week of brain dumps since our last video, right? Anyway, let's look at our brain dumps and see how to interact with our information. This is one that I've done that is about a hypothetical upcoming event, namely Thanksgiving. For my brain dump, I've added a column to the left to identify what category they fall into. Plus, I've added a short legend of action identifiers here at the bottom. These are commonly used, especially in the bullet journal and bujo communities, but they're used throughout the entire planner community. But those are different types of planners, and we're not there yet, so we'll get to those later on. Feel free to use these symbols or add your own, create your own, whatever. Remember, this is a tool for you. I use boxes and circles interchangeably. So if I have an open task, I will mark that with a box or a circle. Open box, open circle. If I've completed that task, I'll check it off, and a lot of times I'll cross all the way through it. If I've begun the task but not completed it, I'll put a dot in the center of the circle or square. If I've not begun the task, so I need to migrate it forward, I'll put a forward arrow in the shape. If I cancel that, if I decide I'm not going to do it at all, I will X through it. And again, I will very commonly cross all the way through it. If I need to do something else, a lot of times I'll put a dot next to it, meaning that I need to figure out how I'm going to deal with this. So let's look at this list and see what kind of information is in here. So I put in getting groceries for Thanksgiving, changing my sheets and laundry, using my water pick for the whole month so I get into the habit of it, calling my mom, emailing my boss, making planner stickers for Halloween, the Thanksgiving guests with what dishes they're bringing, practicing handwriting this week. And as you can see as I go through these are things that aren't necessarily all related. Some of them are related, some of them are not. Many times this is how a brain dump will look. I need to take boxes to the recycling, return library books, refill my meds, scrub my oven, write a thank you card to Crazy Aunt. Usually I'm the Crazy Aunt. Choose Thanksgiving music. I'm going to do a messenger poll. Get carpets cleaned, make dentist appointments, polish the silver, make pie, make planner stickers for Thanksgiving, get my eyes checked, hang my new shower curtain, write a gratitude speech for just before dinner, learn how to do a voiceover, clean all my alternate pens, in other words, my dip pens, my feathered dip pens, and my fountain pens. And during this process, I was watching, just kind of looking around, and I thought, do my cats like being brushed? Again, this kind of thing ends up on our brain dumps. But that one doesn't need to do anything, so okay. I need to drop the card in the mail and take the garbage to the curb. Now, I can look and see right now, I can cross the cats. Do my cats like being brushed? Well, I can take that off. That was just a random thought process. I guess you could ask your cats. I know mine talk to me all the time, so they might tell you. Also, there's a couple of things I can do right now that'll take a very short amount of time and get them completely off my list, and they're actually dropping the card in the mail and taking the garbage to the curb or going to the end of the driveway both, so I can hurry and do those. So we're going to pretend and we're going to say, okay, I've done those. I can take them directly off my list, and I don't even have to put them on another kind of list or in another location. We're eating our candy from last time that we segregated out. So to deal with this brain dump, the majority of what I'm going to use is the list. So this is usually done in a vertical format. It's common through all types of planners, unless it's specifically a horizontal planner. But there's different kinds of lists that I can make that hold different types of information here. So I'm going to look here and I'm going to say, okay, I know that there are just some general tasks that I need to take care of. And they don't necessarily need to be part of the Thanksgiving process. So I'm going to mark this one as tasks. Because it's about a dozen items. I'm going to use this one for my guests and what dishes they're bringing. I also want to mark if they have RSVP'd to me. So I'm going to make a line here and I'm going to label it RSVP with a number of people that are coming. So I know that I'm going to have quite the Thanksgiving grocery list. So I'm going to use this big long one for that. Okay. Now I also noticed that I had a couple of things that I want to do for my channel. So I'm going to put this shorter list on this shorter box. Then I have quite a few errands. Oh, not quite a few, just a few errands. And then I personally categorize what are referred to as habit or task or habit trackers in the list category. So here we have a very commonly used layout, little box, that's for making sure you get 8 glasses of water a day. So I just added that one. I personally have a little sticker that I've created for that, but this one we're just going to label water. That's probably the most common task habit tracker that you'll find. And then I did also notice that I have a week-long habit that I want to track and a month-long habit that I want to track. So I wanted to do handwriting, oh, I lost lettering chicken there. But I also want to use my water pick for the whole month. So you can see how assigning these to something that has a specific layout is going to lend itself to me checking it off every day as I do that task. So now as I go through here, I can take those tasks that I have on my brain dump and I can put them into the categories. So I can get groceries. So I've given that a header. I can change my sheets and do my laundry. I made an entire month tracker for using my water pick. I can put call mom. I can put email boss. I can make planner stickers for Halloween, and I saw down here that I also am going to put making planner stickers for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to come over here to my channel list and put those on that one. So I can check those off. I've made a list for the guests and what dishes they're bringing. I've made a habit tracker for handwriting for practice for a week. I need to take boxes to the recycling and return library books, so when I go into town, I need to recycle. I told you guys that I have the world's worst spelling. We'll just pretend that I meant to shorten that. And I need to return my library books. Well, I'm getting groceries. So at the grocery store, I need to refill my meds. Now, more tasks. I need to scrub my oven. I need to make an appointment to get the carpets cleaned. I need to make a dentist appointment before the end of the year. I need to polish the silver. I need to make pie. I need to make an eye appointment before the end of the year. And I need to hang the new shower curtain. So as you can see, I know what I'm talking about in my list, so I've really shortened a lot of the words down. Well, you might not be able to see, but there's a quick look at what I've written down. Now I want to make sure I use one of my action identifiers here. So each of these is a task, an open task, because I haven't done them yet. So I'm going to put a box in front of them. That's open. These tasks for my channel, haven't done those two yet. In the errands category, I haven't done those 3 items yet. But let's come over here and we will check off things we've moved over. Okay, that's pretty good. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make a list for our guests and the dishes they're going to bring. So I'm going to crazy aunt and uncle, and they're bringing jam for the rolls. And one of my sons is going to bring his family, and they're going to bring some sodas. And my daughter is going to bring a +1, and she's going to bring some nuts. My other son is going to bring his son, my grandson, and they're going to bring some cheese to go with the nuts for snacking on. And then mom and dad are going to bring a veggie tray. Now, all of this, of course, this is all just theoretical. This doesn't exactly follow through with my personal family, but it doesn't need to. It's just an example. So with these, I'm going to leave this RSVP, and so the RSVP, when they come in, I'll put how many people are coming. So if they have already called and said yes, they're coming, these guys would be 2 adults, 3 children, 2 adults, 1 adult, 1 child, 2 adults. So now you can see there's a whole bunch of information in this box, and it's a very short amount of space used with a bunch of information in it. So here we're going to do our Thanksgiving grocery list. So we're going to have turkey because it's American Thanksgiving, so that's what we do. We're going to get some stuffing, a ham, green bean casserole. We're going to do mashed potatoes, so we're going to need butter and gravy. Going to do rolls, olives, a veg tray. Oh, wait, that's right. Mom and dad are bringing the veg tray, so I can just cross that right off. Gonna do some cranberry jelly or cranberry relish. We're gonna do an orange and ginger ale, pumpkin pie, apple pie, and of course can't forget the whipped cream. I also need to get some silver polish so I can do my list and polish my silver. We're going to get some pretty napkins and some taper candles. Okay, so we've dealt with almost all of the items here on our list. But we haven't done writing a gratitude card for Crazy Aunt. We haven't done choosing Thanksgiving music, and we haven't done writing a gratitude speech for just before dinner. But these task lists don't necessarily make it easy to brainstorm these items. So that's when it comes into the horizontal. Now this one is basically lined paper, but when we talk about a vertical format, many times it's easiest to think of a task list, a vertical task list. versus a horizontal task list or a horizontal layout is going to make it easier to plan or journal those things that are in more of a paragraph form. So over here, I'm going to write a thank you card for Crazy Aunt. I'm going to take a poll of Thanksgiving music. So I want to list all of the people that are coming: Crazy Aunt, son and family, daughter, son, mom, and dad. Now when they respond, I can put their responses in these longer lines. So that makes much more sense than one of those short task lists. And I can also put here, write a little gratitude speech for dinner. Okay, so now let's go back and see how much of our task list or our brain dump we've taken care of. We've taken care of writing the thank you card to Crazy Aunt. We're going to practice what we want to say there. We're going to take our poll and we're going to write a gratitude speech. Now there's two things left on our list. We have learn how to voice over a video and clean all of my alternative pens. Neither of those things are going to work very well for either a task list or a paragraph formation. They're going to need a project layout, which we're going to discuss a little later. So right here, this is where I'm going to use the 3 dots because I know I have not categorized those and I'm going to need to categorize those somewhere else. Okay, so now you can see easy reference for things that we need to get done, information we need to get back, habits I want to track, and then things I want to write out in a longer format. This is probably 80% of the planner world. Having task lists and paragraph boxes for dealing with information. Now, obviously, you can turn a task, you can turn a horizontal into multiple task lists. If you were to use, you could use task lists here and still have places to write. You can use a vertical format and just continue writing just in a shorter line. You can obviously use that. There's a format that's also very common. That's a cluster or stack format. Now that's using usually stickers, but as you can see, very easily drawn out. Clustering or stacking boxes that are of one category and they keep all of the category in the same spot. So I could take this cluster and I can use it for Thanksgiving, where I can label that I can put who showed up, I can put what the menu is, and then I can put here. Here I've drawn it as a Polaroid. So I could put a Polaroid picture here. I could put any kind of picture in and label what that picture was. I can instead not put the inside box, and I can use that for journaling and discuss how the day went, what showed up, what were some memories for those. So as you can see, these very common formats can be used to associate information with each other in a very fun and more graphically interesting way. Okay, so the next time we talk about these, we're going to talk about the layouts that you're going to find in pre-printed journals. This obviously is a horizontal format, which if you see that, you can easily see where the list can come in. You can have a vertical format, which is easy, that you can see that paragraph format is easy to use. And then there's the good old month format. Okay, so let's take a closer look at those. So here's our month format. We've all seen that on calendars and such. But we also have in a pre-drawn planners, we also have we also commonly have vertical formats and horizontal formats. So that's where we're headed next. If you haven't done a brain dump yet, go do a brain dump. And then use these and see which one makes sense to you. Do you like a vertical format, a horizontal format, maybe a cluster or stack? Maybe both. I like them for what they are, for what they're very useful for. Thanks for joining me again today, and we will talk later. If you see the moon, say hi for me.